What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Music Breakdown with your humble host, Phillip Nathaniel Freeman. And today, guess who's back? Back again. It's Will Ramos from Lorna Shore. He just came out with a one-take vocal playthrough of Unbreakable, one of Lorna Shore's latest singles. So I'm excited to get into this because it's been, I think, about 2.5, 3 years since I did a breakdown of, no, that's right, I did Into the Earth. That was about 1.5 years ago, so this is cool. I'm excited. And without further ado, let's get into it! Here we go! Nice synth work. Wow. Jeez! That drumming is wild. Oh, very cool. Nice! All right, so something that Will does, and this is an analysis video, by the way, so I'm going to be talking a lot, pausing a lot, and going over some of the techniques that he's using right here. Very similar to what our dear friend Tatiana Shmaliuk from, what's the name of that band? Ginger does. I just recently did a reaction video and vocal analysis of her cover of Hedonist. One-take vocal playthrough, rather. And that's not a cover. It's her own band, for goodness sake, Freeman. Come on. But they're doing something very similar here. Something that Will has a tendency to do is when he's doing his lower guttural sounding screams, he puffs out his cheeks a lot. And he does a lot of the pullback that Tatiana, I noticed, did a lot with that one-take vocal playthrough of Hedonist. Wow, yo! And he's using a retracted tongue as well. Something that, let's compare other screamers. So something that, for example, Alex Terrible does, he bridges his tongue like this, which has a more forward sound and adds a really weird twist to it, as this is more towards the back, where the tongue is going this way, where it's up kind of like a half pipe, as opposed to going this way. You can hear it in his delivery and even see it as well. Take a look. So even though it started on that, he started with a bridged tongue forward and then let it retract, which you can hear the subtle change in that sound there. Yeah. Whoa. Now, very interesting. It sounds lighter in this part right here as opposed to the. It sounds like there's a slight change in the timbre of his voice there, and I'll explain the mechanics of that shortly here. And you can hear his. And if you ever doubted that there was real phonation, I'm on a medicine ball, so I'm feeling bouncy today. If you ever had any doubt that there was actual phonation behind this distortion, this is a perfect example of what's behind it. Because he goes, you can hear what's behind the scream for a couple of seconds here. Listen. That's what's behind it. There's higher phonation right around an F4, G4, and then he comes down to a D4 in the clean. Listen. Sorry, more like an E flat E. So, yeah, very cool. And that's a great picture of the fact that phonation is happening behind the distortion. Because if there wasn't any phonation happening behind this distortion, it would be like, ah, and there would be nothing. So, there, proof, right there. I would say 99.999999999% that there's phonation happening behind these screams. All right, so let's talk about what's happening with the "We Are Unbreakable." So there's something happening with the vocal folds there. It's almost like a pitch scream. So he's using "We Are Unbreakable." So a lot of that change is happening with the shape of his mouth. This right here, your upper vocal tract, anything above the actual vocal folds, which that consists of the tongue, the soft palate, the hard palate, the teeth, all of these mechanics, the jaw, the movement of these things can really color the sound of what you're doing and can change something that's being done in a certain phonetic and pitch, make it sound much deeper or higher than it actually is. So, and this is a perfect example. At least that's what it sounds like to my ear. Wow! Ah! Now he's doing this thing with his tongue. Oh! And the tongue, oh! Now listen to it when the tongue is not there. Oh! It adds a really nice darkness and depth to it. Yeah, very cool. Very cool. Nice. And he does this thing with the puffing of his cheeks on certain things too, which he's about to get into, I believe. Look at that. Yeah, so there's a brightness that happens there. Listen to that. We are unbreakable! Wow! You can obviously this guy has a fundamental understanding of melody. He has done clean vocals for covers of Sleep Token and other artists as well, and you can tell that he's using that as a tool to drive a musicality behind the screams that you do not find with a lot of other screamers. At least in my experience. I'm sure that there are artists out there that I'm unfamiliar with that do the same thing that Will is doing, but there's a musicality here that is difficult to find for singers who don't necessarily have that same bass. And you can hear it because there's melody behind it. It's hidden with underneath all of the distortion, but it's there. It's there. He's obviously very aware of the pitch that is occurring in the music. So it's like, because he's going, so he's going back and forth between a G4 and a B4, which is a minor sixth, by the way. Just whether that's intentional or not, or intuitive, I mean, that's what's happening, which is pretty darn cool. And the "We Are Unbreakable." This is in the key of E minor, so he's singing. He's not singing necessarily, but screaming with a phonetic bass that is within the harmonic values of the song, which is masterful. It's a very subtle thing that not a lot of people can hear, but it's happening, and I love it. This is really symphonic, too. This is good groove. Whoa! Ooh! Whew, man, that's nice. Oh! All right, and then there's tongue retraction happening there too. and a twist of the mouth that's just adding some really rich, dark nastiness there. It's good. Oh! Oh! And then, yeah, he's doing the pig squeal, which a lot of twisting in the mouth and tunneling the tongue in a certain way, this way. It sounds like a toilet in the best way, but wow. Yeah. So he's got that like pig squeal thing going, which you have to find that sweet spot in the tongue and the tunneling to get that effect. Now he's switching, so his tongue flexibility is insane because he's going like it's going up and down because he's getting that brightness by flipping the tongue up and down. So like, you know how I was talking about with Alex Terrible, how he bridges like to get that bright bite on top. Well, what Will is doing here is switching between the retracted tongue and then the bridged tongue like this. And man, the tongue flexibility that you need in order to accomplish that is insane! Oh, wow! All right, let's keep going! It sounds like he bridged into a fry scream with a head voice bass, maybe? I'm not sure. Let's listen to that again. So it sounds like so my body lies over the ocean. It's a major sixth. All right. Didn't know you were getting some music theory stuff today, did ya? Well, now you know. Now you're here. Welcome to the Music Breakdown with your host. I also like to sing opera too. I can't choose a genre because I have attention hyperactive disorder. Let's keep going before I embarrass myself and lose all my subscribers. Too late! Ooh! Wow, that transition's incredible. Oh! Yeah, man, that teeth exposure on those higher screams, it's just really great. His facial flexibility is masterful. And he's using this device that you can hear in a lot of screams where it's like, ow! Ow! Where you start bright and then you just move the face. Yeah! Just ever so slightly forward to get that darkening. And then there's just a little bit of change. There's a bit of a slide phonetically in the vocal folds. Yeah, very nice. Very, very good. Oh. So, yeah. Yeah, very nice. That's, again, he is conscious of the melody and musical format of the key, the structure of the song, and he's bringing musicality to it that that is just adds just that ever so slight precision to this type of music, which is great. Whoa! That was like, wow, hold on. Wow, that was wild. High larynx position, totally changed the timbre. We are unbreakable! Like that was, that's like early 2000s emo. Oh my God! Wow! I don't think I've ever heard Will do that. That's wild. Wow! And there's a pretty high phonation and high larynx position happening there. So like we're like right around a B4, C5. We are unbreakable! And then sliding down to a G4. Wow! Cool! I don't think I've ever heard Will do that. It's always been like this, or like goblin screams and stuff like that. This is cool. The choir, the symphonic nature of this is just woo! All right, what are we getting into? His stance is great, by the way. Here we go. Wow. All right, so he's switching. That's so crazy. He's doing a faster switch between da 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 da, which is wow. That's pretty cool. It's actually. It sounds like the phonation's a little bit higher. Actually, it's like right around here, right around this area. Yeah, very cool. Very cool. Very, 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 very cool. Let's listen again. Sorry, went back a little bit too far. Nice. And that mid-tone scream, it's right there on that G. Yeah. Whoa. That is meaty. 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 Okay, so lots of this going on. Probably some tongue bridging a bit. With a bass around, it sounds like it's between a B3 and a C4. And actually, it's gonna waver. It's gonna go because like that, like you cannot keep like the bass completely stable. It's kind of like going across a bridge or hanging out in a big mall. You can't just have one pitch that you depend on. It's gonna kind of float around here as you're doing it, because just like you can't build a structure without the ability to waver and shake a bit. Otherwise, it will crumble under all of the vibration. It's a good analogy to use because, yeah, if you ever go across a bridge or walk in a mall and feel a bit of a shake or a bounce, there's a reason for that. The joints are there to help. They just provide a little bit of movement for the structure, so that way it doesn't collapse under all the vibration that's happening. Same thing with the vocal folds. It has to go kind of shake a little bit to provide that stability for all of that vibration that's going on here. Oh my God! I just went back to the beginning. Woo! Oh, that's gonna be something to try to break down. Well, let me find it again. Oh my gosh, where is it? All right, let's just watch and listen. Ah! No idea. No idea. What was that? How?
I don't even know.
Okay, so legitimately, I've been like I've paused the reaction in order to figure out what's going on here. So from what I can get the low, which is. It doesn't even sound like it sounds like it's going through the nasal cavity. The tea kettle, though, I'm still having a very hard time getting that down. Holy mackerel! So it sounds like he blocks and it goes into the nasal passage for the low. But, dude. Not impossible, because obviously Will Ramos is doing it. I can't do it yet. It's probably going to take me another decade to get that down, but wow! That's insane, dude. Whoa! Whoa! That sounded disgustingly low. Oh, that might have a bass of like G, A, F sharp, which is very difficult to do, to get down phonetically that low. I can't get over that. Wow. His filtering is unspeakably good. What incredible transitions here with his face. And notice the speed at which he's doing that too. That gives screamers an advantage to go back and forth between stuff. So yeah. Man. So there is some changes phonetically there. In the vocal folds to aid in the change here. So that's what's, so again, musicality and understanding of it is really helping him out here. Lots of dynamics. My God, this is insane. Every time, Will. Woo! Nice, some post-production on that. The range on this guy is insane. Like this is equal to a singer having a 4 or 5 octave range. Just to, like, being able to go from and then being able to do that like so clean and disgusting, like within milliseconds of each other. The range on this guy span like 4 to 5. It's the equivalent to having a 4 to 5 octave range as a clean singer. It's nuts. This is nuts. A big takeaway from this is the facial flexibility. You notice he's going like this, he's going like this, he's going like this. It's just all over the place. He's going like this and this and this. Facial flexibility. If you're still struggling with getting a tone out of your extreme vocals, it's most likely you have to address what's going on up here, because this colors the sound of your distortion. Mess around. Watch Jim Carrey, for goodness sake. He is an excellent reference for this type of stuff, and is really, like, he can give you some really, really good reference material along with Will Ramos on how to move your face for this stuff. And his ability to switch back and forth, and the fibers in his muscles activating so quickly. It just, great body awareness and proprioception, just from years of doing this stuff. So let's finish this out. Nice mid-tone, low tone, going back and forth. There's that. Great facial flexibility. That's so cool. That way unbreakable! Yeah, very cool. Okay, that last thing, we gotta watch that and listen to it. And then, yeah, you hear the phonation at the end. Wow. Dude! Just when I thought that I couldn't be more impressed with Will Ramos, well, guess what? I'm even more impressed. The fact that he was going into a high larynx, but she's like, why you're unbreakable! And then going, Subaru! And going back and forth, that's just nuts. The fact that he can do that so cleanly is just, so difficult to do. His dynamic range, like I said, is the equivalent to having a 4 to 5 octave range as a clean singer. His understanding of what's going on, theory-wise, key-wise, musically within the musical structure of the song is really aiding his musicality within his screams. That is a rare gem in the metal world, and it's definitely a huge piece of Will Ramos's puzzle. His facial flexibility is bar none, just top-notch facial flexibility, and that is a major key to opening up a lot of dynamic range and color to one's screaming. Tongue flexibility and the ability to move the face around is huge, and to be able to do it in a millisecond like Will does, that's just nuts, dude. Wow. Oh my gosh. I'm sweating. I'm sweating just watching it after watching that. That's just absolutely nuts. Those of you who are interested in making noises like this, there's so much that you can do with your voice that a lot of people in your life have probably said is not possible, or you're going to hurt your voice. It is possible to make these sounds without hurting yourself. If anything, I would argue that it's something that is actually ingrained into our DNA. We probably had to make noises like this in hunter-gatherer days to keep predators away. So it's probably as natural as taking a poop, or breathing. Why did I say taking a poop? I don't know. I'm really in a weird mood today. But yeah, too much coffee, I guess. But that being said, everybody, thank you so much for checking this out. Will Ramos, kudos to you, man. Just keep doing what you're doing. You're just continue to kill the game and upping the ante. It's nuts. Oh, by the way, the cinematography on this was killer. That was so cool. So yeah. Thank you, everyone, for your time. I hope you found this useful. If you liked it, go ahead and share it with your friends. Comment below if you have any questions about it. Like and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you for the next episode of The Music Breakdown. Take care. Until next time. Dude, too much coffee today. Too much coffee today.